All right, what's up, people? I know that, you're going to think this is how this looks. It looks like I watched Tom's video. I don't know how that red line happened because I did not watch it. I'm going to watch it now, though. And I made this really cool image of the horn god. Well, of course it wasn't me. It was my assistant. But the thing is, it's really cool. I'm going to probably post it on my community feed later because I got one good one up there. Jamie Foxx, you need to watch this fucking special. It is fucking like, I cried like 8 times in that motherfucker. I'm going to be honest with you. That's something you're just not going to see. It's not really, it's a comedy special, but it's not really a comedy special. The brother's basically telling you how, he came out of the jaws of death. It's deep, but it's funny, and it's Jamie Foxx showing you that he's the master of all trades, man. You just got to watch it, man. It's surreal in how good it is. It's just fucking off chain. Okay, let's get to Tom. And no, I have not watched this already. My problem with neopaganism. I already know what his problem with neopaganism is just from knowing dude. But yeah, let's go watch this. And I'm going to put that thing up that I did.
Sinisterism is about finding the primal aspects of the left-hand path, primal in history, primal in the psyche, thus obtaining truth. Thomas Leroy.
Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to your dose of sinister heathenry. But for those new to the channel, I'm Thomas Leroy, founder of the International Left-Hand Path organization, the Sect of the Horn God. The sect is an educational foundation created to not only make those with a black flame aware of its glow, but to also restore the shadow aspects to the ancient gods by going deep into the past, not only historically, but also psychologically. For the primal depths of the psyche are limitless. So, if this sounds interesting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to learn more, join the organization, the Sect of the Horn God, at the link down below. Thank you.
It's like, join me, Luke. Together we can rule the universe. Or no, it's the galaxy. Right?
Now, sometimes I wonder if I'm a pagan who at times delves into the occult.
He might get into this, I don't know, because like I said, I haven't seen this before. Hold on, let me give it a thumbs up. Boom, thumbs up. The word pagan comes from the Latin paganus, which basically just means a hick. A hayseed, you know what I'm saying? Somebody lives on the outsides of town. But Tom knows this because I've heard him say it before in some of his other videos. I hope he gets to it.
Or am I an occultist who dabbles in paganism? Now, in the past, I've referred to myself as a dark pagan or a pagan of the left-hand path. But I would have to say, truthfully, I'm an occultist, first and foremost.
Exactly. 100%. Nailed it.
And the reason for that is I'm trying to uncover that which is not easy to reveal, if you will.
Paganus is just an accident of your birth. It's like, when you get born in, let's just say like Saudi Arabia, odds are you're going to be a Muslim. You're not going to be born a Jew in Saudi Arabia, I'm just saying. So yeah, Paganus is just where you happen to be. You're on the outskirts of town. You worship these, somewhat different deities, etc., etc. But we haven't had that in a long time. Unless you want to get into shit like the fucking Yoruba tradition, or later, came over here and became sometimes, out of Haiti, voodoo, or sometimes Santeria. you know, or Palo, whatever the fuck it is, because I can't say it. If I do, I'm gonna die right now. You know what I'm saying? They put that Palo Mwambe shit, man. They put that curse on you. You're done. You're finished, man. Just like turn that hourglass over, man. You know you getting started. Anywho, yeah, it's totally right, man. First of all, you're an occultist. You're trying to break through, man. That doesn't matter where you were born. That comes from what's inside. I hope Tom gets to this.
Esoteric. And that's the difference between the two. Between the occult and paganism. The occult is esoteric. Paganism is exoteric.
I think I gave a better dichotomy with mine.
Thinking about it, a good metaphorical analogy of the two would be you have the tree, the great world tree, Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil is exoteric, while the pool of Erd, out of which Yggdrasil grows, is esoteric. And Mimir's well would be a deeper form of esotericism. And looking at this from, let's say, the psychological perspective, you can say these are different levels of the psyche. Now, paganism is very much on the surface. It is a product of the ego mind, if you will. It survives simply in objective reality. There is no depth to modern paganism. There might be a few groups out there, esoteric, who have an esoteric bent to them. But on a whole, it is simply a means to fill a vacancy in the hearts of those who have left their church. They need to fill that God-shaped hole. And what they don't realize, these modern pagans and the modern fucking druids, is they are still playing within the framework or by the rules of the Christian ethos.
I actually disagree with that a little bit. I let that analysis go on for a while, but I'm just like, I don't know if I really buy into that whole way of vectoring it. Because I think that, like, I think your lines are too sharp, is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I know you know what you're talking about, but at the same time, I think you're drawing your lines a little bit too tight. I think you'd be surprised as what was exo and esoteric throughout time. But you're a smart guy. I know you know what's up.
They believe they're delving into the past to, let's say, resurrect the gods, but in truth, they're simply observers.
What? How did I do that?
Observers.
I'm leaving it in. I don't
they're
fucking
safe
edit.
from the hidden darkness
I fucking
in
hit a
those
button
very
somewhere.
gods they claim to
I went to
revere.
shorts, motherfucker.
Instead, from afar, they reject the face of Jesus upon those deities because he's still at the foundation of their spiritual perspective, if you will. Ask practically any one of them what they do. Love, light, humility, compassion, all those attributes of Christian slave morality are in their lexicon when describing their practice. Thus, they put words in the mouths of the gods, portraying them as what they want.
I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I think you might get this if you understand what I'm saying, is that to ascribe that mentality of what you just mentioned as coming from Jesus, like he was the originator of it, I think you're giving Jesus way too much credit. I think it predates him. As a matter of fact, I think that both of these avenues, if you will, have always been present. You know, and this is one of the things that what's interesting is when you talk about Ragnar Redbeard and might makes right. Just the name itself, might makes right. Normally that wins, meaning the strongest motherfucker in the prison is going to take all your food. You know what I'm saying? And have all the bitches and everything else. Because he's probably gay. But not that there's anything wrong with that. But the point being is that then why doesn't that always hold over history? Why is there always a pendulum pushback? But go ahead. See, I don't see it the way you do. I understand your perspective, and I think it's, it's very interesting. I just don't ascribe to it.
Want them to be instead of what they truly are. If you want truth from the corpses of the deities you dug up, you have to be a necromancer instead of a fucking ventriloquist. And let the gods say what they want to say. To put it simply, why this way of thinking, this interpretation of the practices of the ancients frustrates me so much is because I want to know. I don't want to believe. And to know, you have to delve into the esoteric.
Hey, Tom, I hate to do this. I'm probably going to have to break this off into halves because there's just so much you're saying that I don't really agree with. If you go back in time and you look at the development of myths, and especially myth cycles, what you'll understand is that they're all pretty much grounded in, like, maybe this is what you're saying, and maybe I just haven't gotten to it yet, but like the mundane world, and like, for example, you're going to have the horned god, and you're going to have Magna Mater. Wow, Lord Jesus, while I'm making a video. Isn't that crazy? I'll have to get back to you. Don't do that to me when I'm making a video. Point being, Lord Jesus, knocked me off my fucking horse there for a second. So, I mean, the idea is that you have the horned god and you have Magna Mater, who's the great mother. And so these are the two archetypes within that period of time. See, when you go back in time far enough, then you get to what I think is the earliest stratus, or stratum, whatever you want to call it, which is the worship of ancestors and basically what you might call animal and tree spirits. Like everything had some kind of animus to it that would make it move instead of not moving, in which case it was dead. And then came, the veneration of the dead as ancestors, the burial of bodies, etc., etc. But all these things were always tied to the mundane. They were never, like, based on some kind of fucking, like, Christian whatever the fuck. So I realize that you say this video is, a critique of neopaganism. If they want to take Christian, how do you want to say them, tropes, and associate those with ancient gods, I can see how you might be pissed off. You might be like, well, you're kind of disrespecting my ancestors. Does that make sense? So I think I came full circle. And I understand what you're saying, Tom. I really do. But sometimes, and I know I'm not trying to be like weird about it, but I think you operate on a level 4, like in public, because you're trying to just hit that 5, but you're like, let me just go one under it. That way I'm gonna hit the maximum fucking target zone. And I think that's honorable, man, because I know that you're way higher than a 4, dude. I'm just saying. With your knowledge and shit.
You have to go beyond the surface. You have to go deep. Anyway, the following are 3 videos I made on the topic of modern paganism, druidism, and so on. Leave your comments down below, and if you have an argument, if you think I'm full of shit, let me know. Maybe you'll change my mind. I seriously doubt it, though.
Yeah, that seems like a really good place to pause this and just be like, all right, this is going to have to be like a 3 or 4-parter if I ever do it. I think I kind of gave a lot of my thoughts about, I think I understand kind of where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think that you need to go a little bit deeper with it. But maybe you already do, and I just don't know about it. One of my biggest critiques about you, and I think conversely, probably one of your biggest critiques about me, they're not the same thing, but they're very similar. So my critique of you would be your over-reliance on psychology, especially that of Jung. And then I think one of your biggest critiques about me would be that I'm over-reliant on the philosophy of Buddhism. If I had to, guess. I don't know. But they're just different angles to the same fucking equation. And we all know this. I mean, I hope you do. I know I do. But the point being is, yeah, that's a good place to stop. If I had to think where I think this series, you've all watched the fucking video. I know this. This is just me having fun with it. Because I didn't really watch it before. That's why I went so long over top of this shit. But I think he's basically, like I said, I think he's kind of like, these people are making a mockery of something that used to be the difference between life and death. If you knew the gods. So on that, I 100% agree with Tom. I think Tom is 1,000% correct on that. It's just, I don't think, well, I don't know. Maybe I have no critique at all. Maybe I think that was just an awesome video. We'll have to wait. I haven't seen the rest of it yet. This is going to be like part 1 of 4 or some shit. Anywho, where did it go?